And just like that, the river is back up. With one rain, it's not that it rained that much, it's that downstream they have it maybe monitored the right way now. So, this is part 4. I've been telling you how this river has happened and been drained, and how that applies to counseling and getting rid of our invasive emotions, and how sometimes when our river is dry, it's a good thing, and we need to, look out for our hearts and see what's going on. So, since it's full today, I want to tell you an experience where my personal river was drained and what God did. For I had known for a long time that I couldn't have children. And so there came a time when Todd and I decided we were going to do foster care. And we were called, and we got through the program, and then we had an emergency child come to us. His name was Philip. He was put in the system when he was 3.5. He was living in a terrible situation. He had been abused in every way you could think of. And he had what was called a reactive attachment disorder. And that just means that these children can't attach the correct way. And they're very difficult at times. But we were ready to go. We had never been parents. And we thought, well, love can fix everything. That was our naive way of just seeing children in the world. And Philip, when he first came, the first thing he did was he came in. He was 5, and he was a cute little blonde hair, blue-eyed little boy. Just as cute as he could be. But as soon as they left, he told me his favorite food was onions and spaghetti, that kind of thing. He loved that kind of thing. But the first thing he did when they left was he soiled himself and really messed himself up. And so I said, well, let's go clean you up, buddy. And so I cleaned him up and got him all shiny. And it was the middle of the day. And he was sort of shocked. And I said, well, what's going on? And, I said, well, what do you think about this? And he goes, I think it means that you love me. And I said, why? And he said, because you cleaned me up. And come to find out later that the foster home that he was taken from, if he had soiled himself, because this was his way of controlling his environment and to get people to back off. If he had done that, then they would make him clean himself up and then put him to bed early. If it was 12 o'clock in the afternoon, it didn't matter. It was just a way they thought they were helping him, but I don't really understand that, but that's what they thought. So he was removed from them and brought to us, and I cleaned him up. We tried for 3.5 years. We tried that. We loved this little boy. We tried to adopt him. We were, seeking God. We had been passed through 6, I think, adoption boards. Everything. We couldn't get the parental rights taken away. There were all sorts of games they were playing with this child, and it was just wreaking havoc in our home. And then one day, after 3.5 years, when we thought we would maybe be able to adopt him, then what happened was he told a social worker that he wanted to go to a dark place. And then that caused them to start a reaction. They took him from our home first for respite, and then I can't remember all the details. Maybe it was at the respite house that he said that, but whatever, it meant that Philip had to go to an institution. And they were afraid. They were afraid of, many times, I think Philip had told them that possibly he was having identity issues. So I get that pain of parents. He had never told us that. And so we didn't know, but they were afraid that Todd was a pastor and that he would be abused. And just without asking questions, they just went too far. So they put him in an institution and locked him up behind the doors. And we couldn't get to him, and we were no longer allowed. We were not his parents yet, so we had no rights. And that was it. It was over. And my river was gone in that one swoop of a moment. I didn't understand why God would say no to something to just be loving. But God had different plans, and he knew what was going to happen. Philip's story has not turned out well. He stayed institutionalized until he aged out of 18, and then he went back to his abusive mother. And It's just been a lot of struggles for him. We pray for him. We know that he is trying to identify as a woman and change over. We still think about him. We still pray for him. We still love him. We still remember the day that he asked the Lord to come into his heart, and how long it took him to come to the realization that he wanted to be baptized. And he was such a sweet child, and he had such a sweet light. But there were some things in his heart that were just not being mended. And it was there that we realized that love sometimes can't fix things. And poor little Philip was broken. He was broken so badly. And we kept praying for him. We still pray for him. And we don't have any contact, not for our choice, but because of his. And anyway, so my river was gone. I thought I would not get back out of the bed. It hit me so hard. I was so mad at God that one day I told God, I want nothing to do with you. You are the worst thing in the world. And in that moment, he let me feel an emptiness that I had never felt before. And when I felt that emptiness, I became physically sick. I had to go out and just basically get sick outside the restaurant. But it was there that God brought me back and showed me that he still loves me and he has a purpose. And of course, you know our story. We have Hannah. Philip would have been quite an issue for Hannah because she's so innocent and he's so much older, and the struggles he has are really difficult. But it wasn't our choice. But sometimes God says no, and sometimes God will drain your river, and he will reshift some things. But then you just keep going back to him, keep going back to the Father, and he will fill your river again, and he will make it new. And the memories are still there. They don't haunt us, but they do make us aware that sometimes love doesn't fix everything. I wish it did. But this is a fallen world, and not everything works out the way it's supposed to. And I just want you to know that today, that whatever you're going through, it may not come out the way you want it to come out. But he will fill your rivers again. He will allow your heart to flow in the right direction again. Don't let the enemy get you stuck in that place that was intended to destroy you. Get some help. Talk it through. Grieve. Learn how to grieve in the right way. Learn how to look for the silver lining in things that, honestly, I can't tell you how that's had a silver lining other than God knew the future. And God knew what we needed. And he was helping us. So I just pray for you. If you need help, you can call us at 615-332-4389. And it's Beautifully Broken Counseling. You can also get in line by filling out our intake form at www.beautifullybrokencounseling.com. And then there's an intake/contact us form, and that will get you straight in line to get a counselor to call you. All right, we're all in this together. We all have something that has broken us. Some people have figured out how to integrate it and use it to help others, and some people are still stuck. And so we just want to help each other so that we can all do what God has called us to do. All right, have a great day. And look at this river. I'm so glad it's back. And I'll let you know if it changes. The next stage might be flood, but that's okay. All right, bye-bye.